I think Justin played well enough again. His stats aren't going to be gaudy, but what he did with his arm, what he did with his legs, I thought was really, really impressive. I mean, at one point before Najee's touchdown, we found out that he was the only rushing touchdown of the team. I mean, and he had 3 of them. I mean, then Najee obviously had a great run, a great touchdown, and over 100 yards, I think, for the first time all season. Great job running. Just sat a guy down on a little shake. Little R2 PlayStation button.
Little R2.
No, I just think that I thought Justin actually played a good game. He went on some spurts there. We had a couple bad throws in a row, but all in all, I would absolutely not even think about taking him out of the game right now. I would keep him in there, and even if he has a bad game, I would keep him in there because right now they're rolling. Yeah, they lost 2. They got this win. But I think he's playing well enough. I think he's doing enough. You saw with his legs especially, making things happen, creating. And not necessarily this time wasn't design quarterback runs. It was him extending a play, stepping up in the pocket, and just keeping the play alive. So I thought he played well. It's good to know what you have at the backup, and Russ is there if you need him. I just think what you're going to get from Russ is more pocket presence to throw the ball down the field, but you're not going to get that extend the play like Justin does.
That was Big Ben Roethlisberger saying he would leave Justin Fields in a lineup as the starting quarterback if he was the Pittsburgh Steelers, and a lot of people agree with that opinion, saying, hey man, the Steelers are 4-2, they're winning. Why would you make the switch? If you look at the situation, in my opinion, as I evaluate this, Mike Tomlin, I take into account some comments him and Arthur Smith has made, and what they're saying is, first Mike Tomlin said, we're good, not to be confused with great, and things like that. And those little sayings and things, it's like, hey, we're winning, but we're not winning the way we want to win. We need, if you look at it some years ago when the Steelers started 12-0, they were winning games, but there was a lot of people said, hey, they're winning, but can you sustain this throughout the rest of the season, man? And towards the end, it didn't work. It collapsed, so all the people saying that, hey man, this is not gonna, you can't win playoff games and do things and win it all with this style of play. It's going to catch up to you, and it definitely did. And the Steelers, with a 12-0 start, lost to the Commanders, and that was the start to the downfall. And it was a 12-4 season, after starting 12-0, and with a blowout loss in the playoffs. So the style of play definitely caught up to the Steelers, and in a bad fashion. You go 12-4. You end 12-4 after a 12-0 start. First round knocked out of the playoffs, getting beat pretty bad is so. I think that maybe Mike Tomlin is taking that into account. Arthur Smith wasn't here at that time, but Mike Tomlin was. So maybe he's taking that into account and say, hey, we're winning games. We're 4-2, and it's, we're winning tight games and, kicking field goals and things. You scored 32, scored over 30 points. But was it a convincing 32 points? Was you throwing the ball all over the field and the offense was running fluently with those 32 points? It was a lot of, short fields and things like that. You want to see your quarterback pass the ball in the end zone. Running is good, but you got to get it in there through the air. And that's what I think that is why, if they do make the quarterback change, that's what it is. They want to see the offense running more fluently. Play action, Arthur Smith is the play action guy. The play action hasn't really been working. So I don't think that Arthur Smith's playbook has really been utilized, the way that they want to be, utilize with Justin Fields, can audible and things like that. So how can you really open it up? You know, if the quarterback can audible, see something and say, hey, let me check into something else. You know, give a signal to Pickens or Freiermuth or whoever and say, hey, we're doing this now. They're in this coverage. So if you can't do that with your quarterback, then the playbook is going to be limited as it's been. You know, and maybe that is something else too. They don't have the full trust in Justin Fields to open up the playbook the way it needs to be opened up and let it flow. So I think that's something else that comes into account, as well as Russell Wilson's deep ball that he can throw, you know, with accuracy and things like that. Maybe some of those balls get put a little bit more touch on them with Russell, and you can complete those passes. You know, this is what I'm thinking about the quarterback change. You know, you try to make some sense out of it and things like that. So, and I think that that's what, if you listen to the comments and things, that they're happy about winning, but they don't think that they're winning the way that they need to be winning, and the offense is not running the way that it is fluent as it's running. You know, he had 140 something passing yards and things. You can't really make it by. You say, hey, 2 touchdowns, but we need to go through the air, you know. And if you look at the schedule, the way it's going down now, the quarterback change, if you know you making a change, hey, this may be the best time. You know, you get 2 games before the bye. Russell has a lot of rust on him. He hasn't played in a long time. So now you get 2 games, you know, with quarterbacks and teams that aren't too hard. But hey, Colts looked at like that too, and look what happened. So you can't underestimate anybody, you know. So you got the Jets and the Giants, your New York connection coming up. So you can kind of knock the rest off of Russell and try to get him up to speed before, you know, after the bye week, because, you know, after the bye week, it gets tough. You know, things get tough, and all the big dogs come out, you know, and now that Commanders game is looking like it's going to be tough. Now with Jaden Daniels and what that offense is doing, you know. So now, you know, you open it out with them coming out, but you know, you got Baltimore Commanders and things like that, and then it just goes on and on. You still got to see Cincinnati 2 times. That offense is still going to put up some points. You know, defense may not be playing too good, but Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Joe Burrow is going to come. And so you're going to have to be ready for that. And division games are always hard. Cleveland Browns are Cleveland Browns, but hey, man, Dorian Thompson-Robinson beat the Steelers before, you know, DTR. So, you know, division games, you always got to, you know, take those into account. And you see what the Ravens is doing. So you got those games coming mixed in with Patrick Mahomes and Philly. They're not doing, you know, ain't as good as people thought they would be this year, but hey, you still got to play them, and you never know, they can go on a run towards the end, you know, towards that time, and they can be coming off a loss that can make them, you know, motivated, or they can be coming to you off a run. Who knows? But it's still a quality team that you got to be ready for, and you're gonna have to score some points. So I think that's what this is all about. You know, in my opinion, that, hey, we are winning, but Mike Tomlin say, hey, man, I seen this movie before. We was 12-0, and then things just fell off, and I don't want that to happen this time. If we can, you know, potentially get a guy in here that can make the offense run the way it needs to run. And maybe Arthur Smith said something to Mike Tomlin and say, hey, man, we need to try to get this offense going. And we can't get it going if the quarterback, we don't have that trust in the quarterback for some reason to audible and do things like that. It's just whatever it's called, it has to go. And you have to be able to have trust in your quarterback. You have to be able to audible, and you have to be able to do things as traditional football. That's what it is. And You know, that's just my opinion on the thing. Now, if it don't work, then man, hey, you know, it's going to be a bad look for Coach Mike Tomlin because they were winning. But if you look at the other end of it, it's like, hey, we need to take control of this offense and get this thing going fluently and throwing for some touchdowns through the air and get the receivers and the tight end, get everybody going. You know, not saying that Justin Fields did a bad job, man. Justin Fields is part of the reason why they have a 4-2 record. You know, Justin Fields was doing some good things in there, developing, not turning the ball over and things, but you know, like I said, he didn't run away with the job. He did a good job, but he didn't run away with the job. He left a little bit of doubt in there for people to say, well, I wonder what Russell can do. You know, when you leave that in there, and then Russell is a Super Bowl winner, you know, and things, a veteran and all that good stuff. You got some pedigree with him. You're always going to see, you want to see, you know, what the offense can look like with that guy behind it. And when you don't run away with it, like I said, like Fields didn't, man, he played good. He did what he can do, you know what I'm saying, and not to take nothing away from him. Like I said, man, a lot of people say, hey, leave Fields in there, you know, and there's a lot of people saying, hey, let's see what's going on. He didn't light it up the way, you know, you would like it to be lit up if you want to believe that he is going to be your future. Left a little doubt, and when there's any doubt, you know how that goes. So now here comes Russell Wilson taking first team reps and things like that in line to start this game coming up. So we'll just have to see how that goes. And that's just the way I look at it, man. Big Ben and a lot of other people saying, hey, leave Justin Fields in there. Let him do his job. Let him develop with the offense and maybe potentially grow into that quarterback that you guys need for the future. You know, you'll play a quarterback carousel and let him develop, you know, learn on the job. He's not, you know, he didn't do he did enough to stay in there. He didn't do nothing to get him out of there. So leave him in there, and then you got some other people. Hey man, let Russ get in there and let's see what the Super Bowl winner, you know, Russell can do. Do he still have it? I think he do, and a lot of people think that the offense will run more fluent with Russell Wilson, and maybe that's what the coaching staff and everybody else is coming to that conclusion as well, and that's why we potentially have this scenario here. So that's why you play the game, to see what happens. So, and that's what we're gonna do Sunday night against the Jets. So here we go. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to get all the new videos. And until next time, I'm out.